Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Clone Wars Season 4, Episode 17. Yep, Episode 18, Crisis on Naboo. And the crisis is that there is a plan to kidnap Palpatine, and Obi-Wan's at the centre of it. So I'm very excited to continue with this arc, potentially conclude this arc, because I feel like we've kind of built up to it, but maybe there'll be a two-part mission. I don't know. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
Chancellor in peril.
Oh no!
I see nothing here to worry about.
With complacency comes vulnerability.
If only the Republic took more and the Jedi took more notice of that statement. With complacency comes vulnerability. They're not exactly the most... Oh, he's here himself! Didn't expect that one.
This is it, I have it from a very reliable source. That everything will happen exactly as we planned.
Palpatine himself, by any chance?
This will get us into the inner circle.
Yep.
Shadow hologram, and you will receive your new identity.
Oh dear, this is very scary. The idea that this is around there, that other people could use this in this universe.
There's something about him I
Yep.
do not trust.
Yes.
I'm keeping my eye on all of them.
You would be suspicious of someone that you hadn't really heard of, or that hadn't been that high up in the ranks, suddenly being such an integral part of everything.
With all due respect, Chancellor,
There is a plot to kidnap you.
there is no such thing as overkill.
Overkill being the operative word.
If there's trouble, Ahsoka will get you, the Queen, and the rest of your staff to safety.
What about you?
Hopefully,
He'll be straight into the at the center of the trouble.
Of course he does.
Obi-Wan, thank goodness you're alive.
Yes, I've seen better days. I'm here in Theed. So Dooku's plan is still on.
Oh yes.
How are they planning to attack the Chancellor?
I don't know.
Of the bounty.
Stressful. And mainly stressful all the innocent civilians that are here watching that might be collateral damage.
The stage is set.
Activate the ray shield.
Oof.
Copy that, General Skywalker.
I mean, they've only just activated the ray. Could you imagine being on one of the other places like, wait, they get a ray shield? I don't get a ray shield? What if someone's going to attack? I'd like a ray shield.
Identification number. SG-1984. Alright, move along. But stay sharp.
Exactly. Pose is the one checking.
But as we talk,
He just pops up. Disguise fails. Oops.
East side.
You should have had someone next to the thing, idiots. Oh my god. Anakin!
Make the switch.
Oh lord.
Right, the Chancellor.
Oh my goodness.
You're coming with me, Chancellor.
Chancellor, are you all right?
Yep. They are doing a very dangerous part of this. Hands go everywhere.
Move it!
They sacrificed those two. They were hardly ever going to get away. The whole point was they were the decoys. Oh no, not the Chancellor.
Dean, you're not supposed to be here yet.
I don't want to be double-crossed and left behind.
Uh-huh.
I think we've all been double-crossed. Dooku's a no-show.
What do you mean? What do we do with the Chancellor now?
We'll ransom him.
I'm afraid the Chancellor's coming with me.
Oh. Double cross, triple cross, quadruple cross.
Please.
You did a good job, Obi-Wan.
Kenobi. I should have known.
You should have. He was far too caring.
Smelled wrong about you from the start.
You should have listened to your instincts. What was the whole point of that? Dooku wasn't there to grab him. Why did... What?
Are in your debt.
It's all part of the job, my lady.
Stop making it so obvious with those hot eyes.
that the threat has passed. I think Anakin is all the security I need.
Oh, he's yet again needling that you're the one I trust, you're the one I trust, you're the one I trust.
Glad the council didn't trust me.
The seeds are being
It's my
sown.
decision to keep the truth from. I know I did some questionable things, but I did what I had to do. I hope you can understand that.
You lied to me.
Oh Lord.
How many other lies have I been told by the council?
Anakin!
You even have the whole truth.
Oh, this is where the dangerous seeds have been planted and I'm stressed. There's still 3 seasons left.
I need to check one last thing.
Dooku got a real plan here? That was a distraction plan he always intended for them to get captured? He was listening to him.
I was listening. You knew all along.
Yep.
I assume the brilliant plan to disguise Obi-Wan
Oof.
Kenobi was yours?
No, it wasn't.
I hate this so
As
much!
much as you were.
Really?
He has got so far underneath Anakin's skin.
It's a trap.
Really?
Chancellor, stay back.
Oh goodness.
Fighting off the
Palpatine.
Jedi security will be an easy task.
What is this all been part of Palpatine's plan to get more underneath Anakin's skin and get him fully into his control? Because he's really exaggerating Anakin's lack of faith in the Jedi Council and also his belief that they have no faith in him, which is somewhat justified by some of their actions.
Get out of here.
Oh, I hate this. Because this is going exactly how Palpatine wanted. Oh my goodness, this is exactly what Palpatine wants.
Are you alright? Come on.
Oh, does Palpatine want to be kidnapped? Or does he want Anakin to save the day?
Mr. Kenobi, you are a worthy adversary. I cannot say the same about your young apprentice.
Oh, that's all planned. This is the real plan, isn't it? It's all been to do with getting Anakin to slowly but surely end up on their side.
We specialize in heroics, Chancellor.
As long as I live, no harm will ever come to you, Your Excellency.
Anakin, you've been so groomed and manipulated.
Prosperous. One shudders to think where the galaxy would be without the Jedi.
Oh, I hate this episode because you know where it's going and you don't want it to go there, but it's going there because that's where it goes. I feel like I have a real way with words today. Okay, so the combination of this plot, and I was really puzzling over like what on earth was Palpatine playing at? Why did he want to be captured? Was he trying to bring the war to a close soon? But I really do think, I think that's both I think, that this really was all about Anakin. In a lot of ways. Now maybe he didn't know how it would all pan out, but it was kind of, maybe there was some ulterior goal that he then used to his advantage to try and get under Anakin's skin, but definitely this episode and going throughout this whole arc, they had their plan, they didn't suggest it to Anakin. I wonder if he kind of had made some comments at some point that got put the idea in Obi-Wan's head that was like, you can't trust Anakin to know it and all that sort of thing. But just sort of seeing him so under Palpatine's spell, and like all throughout the Clone Wars he's been grooming him, and it was kind of visible in the movies as well, but obviously there's less time because the movies have so much going on in them, that Palpatine is so good at seeing all of Anakin's weak spots, all of his vulnerabilities that the Jedi don't really deal with. They're just like, oh, don't feel like that, just don't have those feelings, rather than kind of helping him learn. I think if only the Jedi had been more emotionally aware themselves, they could have been able to help him escape Palpatine. But really, them not telling him does make it seem like they don't trust him. And in a way, you can kind of understand that. Like, could he have acted his grief the same? Whenever they have this kind of plotline in TV shows where it's like, oh, I had to fake that I was dead so your reaction would be real, it's always so cruel on the person that believes it. But at the same time, it does get the authentic reaction compared with a non-authentic one. And the fact that the Jedi Council didn't trust him and it was Obi-Wan's idea just will cut deep in so many ways that kind of Obi-Wan didn't think Anakin had it in him to be to act, to be there, that he thought he would mess everything up. And in a lot of ways I don't know that they're wrong. I think Anakin could have gone along with the plan. I think he could have acted. I think he's been through enough in his life that he could have drawn on that grief and imagined what if this is real and all that kind of thing. They could have had him, Obi-Wan, die at a point where Anakin wasn't next to him, so he wouldn't have had to act it, and at the funeral he could have acted. You know, there's so many things they could have done differently. Most especially, I think, tell Anakin the second they're behind closed doors and there's no one that could tell anyone else, rather than keeping it from him. But just seeing the way Palpatine is so good, and the whole of the Clone Wars, they have been showing that. The way he subtly says things all innocently and just like, oh, Anakin, surely this, oh, Anakin, what about that? Really to just make sure Anakin's mind is spiraling and overthinking everything the Jedi do. Now, the Jedi Council is not perfect. I think there are lots of things they do, lots of blind spots they have, just lots of oversights they have, where if only they weren't as complacent, because complacency brings vulnerability, Yoda, things would be so much better. But, you know, it doesn't excuse Anakin ultimately killing all the younglings and becoming evil, but it explains how the young idealistic kid we meet in the first fourth movie becomes Darth Vader. It's really sad knowing where it's coming, and hearing Palpatine say, where would the universe be without Jedi, is really chilling, knowing that that is his goal, knowing that the clones are ready for the Order. It really, really is. This was such a good episode, but it's also really chilling. Like, it's making me more and more aware that I'm really, really enjoying my Clone Wars journey, but I really don't want to get to the end, because I don't want to have, I feel like, you know, the movies, obviously it was bad enough the first time around watching the prequels because you know how it ends, but because movies are shorter, I feel like there wasn't as much time, and watching a short, like, I mean, movies, they're fairly long movies, but like watching 2 hours of something in which you know, okay, I guess it was more like 6 hours, you know at the end of that, this character's going to go bad, it was still hard to watch, it's still heartbreaking to kind of see his fall, but watching hours and hours and hours and hours and hours makes it even more heartbreaking. And I just think about Ahsoka, and, you know, so far at least, nothing, she has in no way done any of the things that could have added to his doubts and worries, and yet she's going to be one of the hardest hit by it, and I'm stressed. This was such a good episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you for watching.